Hi guys, I am Susan from Orange Light Energy, and I am here today to talk a little bit about the energies of November, how they are feeling, what I'm picking up on, how we can be prepared, how we can work with these energies to best help ourselves, grow ourselves. So the information that I have got for this month seems a little bit all over the place, which speaks to us still being in a place of transition. A place where there's a lot going on outside of ourselves, a lot that is happening that we may be reacting to, being triggered by, things that are impacting us, even though they're not directly within us. So there's a little bit of information given about what we may encounter, what might rise, so we can kind of prepare with that. And then I have some cards and some other information about how we can interact with those things, how we can better support our own energy. So hopefully this will be helpful to you. Like I said, it's a little bit all over the place, so that in itself speaks to the energies of the month. November is the 11th month, and 11 it's a powerful number. You know, there's a lot of things in there that connect to awakenings, to spirituality. We've also got, as we're, coming through Halloween and Day of the Dead, this thinning of the veil, things being closer, more easy to connect. You may have found that for yourself already, that things you may have struggled with suddenly seem to be coming with a little more ease. So I have my notes at the side of me so that I can bring through, because during the month, as we're getting towards the end of the month, I will start to ask about these things and get keywords or concepts, things that can help to bring through some guidance or some clarity. So they showed me big earth events. There was a lot of things relating to water. I know I'm recording this at the end of October, and we've just gone through the hurricane was there, but they're talking about water events and seismic activity. Just like we are purging, we're clearing, we're moving through things, so is Gaia, so is the earth. And it's about finding balance, about release. And so the earth is finding release in the same way that we may be doing that. This can impact, or amplify our connection to nature. How are you connecting with those energies? How are you taking them into yourself? How are you letting them help you? It's a lot of power on display. It's a lot of being aware of the grandness of nature, the unpredictability, just the raw strength that can come. How, I guess this ties into some things because we cannot control it. It's beyond our control, and we just have to move through it. We have those choices, but we cannot control the larger situation, which mirrors a lot of things that are happening in the world right now, a lot of things that are going on that we cannot directly impact. They talked about secrets being exposed, illusions being seen beyond. Almost as if there's somebody opening a curtain. I can see the Wizard of Oz, where all of a sudden they pull back the curtains and the wizard is not this big grand thing. It's just somebody hiding in a closet. It's that kind of energy, whether this is around financial things. It could be financial, it could be political, it could be things within your own life, because the way they're talking about this, things being exposed, being shown, being seen in their truth. And what they had put about that was irreparable wounds, things you cannot move beyond, things that will force change, will force endings, as if you're being pushed too far. Things like that. It speaks to endings, to completion, to being done with a lesson, done with something in your life and ready to move forward. Those times are powerful. Think of the Tower card in Tarot, these big events that will blow things up. And when you get to the other side of it, you are changed, you are new, you are ready for the rebirth, but you have to go through this part first. But when you get to the other side of that, these are kind of the things they want you to be aware of. But on the other side of that is innovation. It's new times, being more connected, being more open. We're in intense times. These are times when change is here, and we don't have choice about that. Change is here, whether we are ready or not. change is here. And again, it's out of our control. These things need to happen. They need to come. Whether they're on a collective level or a personal level, it's like this is the moment to break free, to move through things. They talked about it like a snake shedding its skin, a time for regeneration, a time that encourages you to go inside, to find the root of who you are, the truth of who you are. Embrace your darkness and integrate. Find the strength in your darkness. All of us, we're this balance of light and dark, and there can be times you go, no, that wouldn't be me. I wouldn't do that. It doesn't matter. We all do it every day. There are things that are light and things that are dark, choices that we make that maybe outside of what we would choose, or situations, actions that we take that maybe we just know it's on the heavier side of things. But also, what are we reacting to from our past, from times beyond this? Because we are who we are now, but we are also carrying the wounds of our past, whether it's our younger times in this world or the lifetimes beyond. What are we integrating? What are we taking into ourselves? Because as you are pushing back the darker parts of yourself, you're denying parts of yourself, you're hiding from parts of yourself. And as you can bring those together, as you can be whole, there's strength in that. It's funny, I'm looking at one of the card decks I have on the table. This is the picture on the end of it. And it looks like that, the integration of light and dark. There's strength in both. Look at this. Look at the peace in this darkness. There's still light here. And in the light, there's still darkness. Both of these are an integration. So we have all of that. They're bringing it back here to this. I told you it was a bit all over the place. They're talking about that, but they're talking about things that have been concealed, that have been hidden. And that can be parts of ourselves. It can be things within our lives, things we had not expected, things we had kind of turned away from, things that have been concealed or hidden from view, times when you can only see a part of the story. There's wounds coming up this month around betrayal, sneakiness, things that will create mistrust. But it's almost like those things now, what caused them is clearing, and suddenly you can see it differently. You can see, it's like there was a mist there, that all of a sudden this new perspective can come. These big actions that just force you to look at the whole and see, how has this restricted you? How has this been a block for you? How have you judged something or perceived something differently because of only having part of the information? This is part of the energies we're in. The energies right now are moving at such an accelerated pace. They're moving so quickly. I mean, that in part is why we are struggling a little bit, why some of us, whatever I'm talking about this is reading on a collective level, so it might not feel that way to you. But for some of us, there can be overwhelm, discomfort in the physical body as well as the energetic body, because the energies are changing, our timelines are changing, and we're like this all of the time. We're trying to find our balance, find our space, bringing that back to this connection with nature, because nature can help us to ground. It can help us to find balance in those times when we feel overwhelmed. Nature is soothing. It is gentle. It's a different energy than this chaotic volatility of the human incarnation, the human energy that is going on. The next note I have, grounding is needed. Let go of the sensationalism, of the need for drama. Step back, because those things will not last. These things that are coming up, the things that people are talking about, the things in the news, these things are temporary and they will go, they will pass. You will get through them. No matter how crazy they may seem to you, they are not permanent. Ground yourself. You can recognize, how do they trigger you? What do you feel? What action do you want to take? But don't let them define you. Don't let them overwhelm you. Let yourself find that space for yourself. So coming to the root, which The root chakra was a big focus in October, and it's continuing this month because your root chakra is your foundation. It's your grounding. It's like the rock that holds everything else steady, and it relates to, do you feel safe? Do you feel secure? Do you feel balanced? Do you feel protected? A lot of times growth comes in the times when you feel able to grow. If you are in fight or flight, if you are panicked, if you are feeling unstable, you're not going to feel confident in your movement. But if you are in that place where you feel grounded, you feel steady, you're going to be able to move forward with greater ease. There's a note here about working on the inner child. And the inner child, I think I talked about this a couple of videos ago a little bit. Your inner child is about joy, finding the moments of light. What can make you laugh? What makes you feel silly? What lights a fire within you? Is it putting on music and dancing around? Is it going to the park, going for a walk? But your inner child too is the wounds. How are you wounded? Again, this can be this lifetime or past lifetimes, but think back to when you were a child. How did you feel then? What were the wounds that you came across? What were the things that bothered you, the things that you enjoyed? Come back to your child, to that part of yourself. There's such an innocence and openness to a child that as you are grown, as you become an adult, you put it down. You think instead that you need to be structured, you need to be serious, you need to be these things. But as you can come back to this childlike energy, you can find a different mental space. You can appreciate the world differently. You can see the wonder in things. And you bring it back to the wounds of a child. How were you treated as a child? How did you feel as a child? What were the things that you struggled with as a child? How do those things sit with you now? How do you need to address them? They're bringing back to me this one phrase that always makes me crazy when I try and get an answer. Identify the wound. What is the wounding that you hold? What are the things that trigger you? What do they tie back to? What is it? Instead of being reactive, just go inside. What are the things that you feel like you're reacting to? What are the things that you feel like, if you are reacting to it, what is the core emotion? How do you feel? What part of the situation created that feeling for you? Where else does this show up in your life? How can you use that information to move yourself forward? To better guide yourself, to better see where you need to do work, where you need to bring healing for yourself. Which brings you, this all in a line. The next thing was freedom, sovereignty, advocating for yourself. When you know what you need, when you know yourself, you know what you need, you know what you want. You are less afraid to advocate for yourself, to ask for the things that you need, to put focus on your own energy. A lot of times we will defer to others. What do others need? What do others want? We will put a lot of our energy there instead of focusing on who we are. What do we need? What are the choices that we would make? And as you can do that, even in small things in your life, you are changing the energy and you're putting more focus on yourself. As I said, choose where to put your focus. What are you putting your focus on? Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you holding yourself in an energy that is filled with potential, that is seeing the light? Or are you being pulled to this heavier place? If you're in a heavier place, often that will pull you lower because those energies, they will be amplified. And once you're in a place of struggle, a place of doubt, a place where you feel hopeless, it is really hard to get out of that. And a lot of this is about your mindset, your willingness to see a different way. But as much as it's easy for me to say that, it's very different when you're in that space. So just choose where to put your focus. Choose who you are in your energy. What do you want to focus on? What do you want to work towards? Think about innovation, visionary, rebirth, metamorphosis. Again, they're saying no way back. They talked about these things that are being shown, but it's also things cracking open. When something is open, you know, those of you on the spiritual path, could you go back? Can you go back now to not having this understanding, not having this view of the world? No, there's some things that you come to that you cannot step back from. Once that door is open, it is open. And we're at one of those points. No, each of us, we can have many awakenings. No, you go through life, it's, no, I don't know if I've used this example before. My son is 11, and, you know, we talk a lot about Pokemon. That this, you know, with the Pokemon, they do all the battles and it gets them to the boss fight. You know, you do these lessons and then you get to this big fight that levels you up, a new evolution, a new version, a more powerful version. And that's how we move through our lives. You know, we go through these tests, we learn these lessons, we push past the blocks, and then you are ready for this next version of yourself. They'll never give you everything all at the beginning. We'd be overwhelmed. You have to get there. It's a path. It's a journey. It's a way for you to fully understand and appreciate yourself, to know what each thing means, to do the work, to find these things at the time that you are ready. And we're at that point. Metamorphosis speaks to, again, like a butterfly coming out of a chrysalis. They keep talking about this transformation. Times when all things are changed, when things are new. And it may feel to you that you're not there yet. It's coming, don't worry. No, keep moving forward, keep making progress. Every step that you take, whatever that looks like for you, is moving you forward. I think so. Yeah, they're kind of addressing this too. You know, I have the notes, and then when you come to talk through it, it makes more sense. Adapting, integration, discomfort and purging, releasing and breaking free of the old form. This is it. They talk about a snake shedding the skin. It's like leaving behind what you don't need so you can move forward and you can be free. But it's not a comfortable process. You know, it's birthing something, and birth is not always comfortable. It is messy. It is unpredictable. It is all sorts of things, but you get through it, and what is on the other side? I just smiled. There's a blue jay on the tree outside. Blue jays came up in the September energies, I think. I have to look it up. I'll post it in the link below, the meaning of blue jays. So beyond this, it's stillness, consciously choosing to connect, to receive the new energies. Stillness in meditation, time in nature, stepping out of the chaos, allowing yourself rest and sleep. They're talking about the potential for body aches, stomach issues, throat issues, because you are becoming something new. You know, giving yourself space, giving yourself time. You don't need to feel bad for needing time out, needing space, needing to be quiet. There's a lot of growth that comes from stillness. You know, whenever Jennifer and I are going through something, you're always excited for the next phase, but how you get to that next phase does not need to be easy. You know, we're all like, yes, send me the energies, I can't wait. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I feel terrible, I feel ill, I have a cold, I have something with my stomach, my whole body hurts. It's transformation. Your energy has to move things through it. It has to shift things. It has to integrate things. And in those moments, just give yourself patience. See, this is one of the cards that I have. These are from the Sacred Destiny deck by Denise Lynn. Patience. Like, it's got a bird that's kind of blue like the one I just saw outside, although it's not the same bird. Patience. Flow. You know, flowing, going with the energies, going with the movement. It's kind of validate because the next one is here and it is going forward. Look at the path. It's a path. It's not a short path. It's a long path, but it's moving towards the light. So you've got patience, flow, moving forward. And after that, you get fulfillment. Sometimes the cards just tell a story like this, fulfillment. Then this speaks to connection, like gateway. There's a unicorn on there. Like this speaks to me of magic. Things beyond our understanding. So, you go on the path, and the path is leading to fulfillment and to your connection to magic, to these things that can come. There's so much potential for each of us in this time, and it's just having the patience and the willingness to move through it. Next point, stepping forward in acceptance, forgiveness, letting go of judgment and finding balance and neutrality. Do not allow the world to trigger you from these times of stillness. We talked about this, the world is going through its own process. The collective is going through its process, and you can be aware of that, but not be overwhelmed by that. To come to that from a place that is less triggered will serve you well. To be able to accept, to recognize what you can and cannot control. Forgiveness. If you're holding resentment, you're holding this heaviness, that's a lower vibrational energy, and it's going to impact your energy and your mindset. Finding balance, neutrality. Neutrality doesn't mean you have to be okay with all of these things. There will be things, of course, that trigger you. But looking from a higher perspective, seeing each side of this, seeing what they can bring, what is the potential for these things? How will they change a society? How will they change lives? How will they change perspectives? It comes up quite often in healing sessions that times of change are rarely of ease, because they do not need to be. They are a catalyst. Times of change are times when we are forced from what is comfortable and into the new. And we've been in those energies for a while now, and it is changing things. These things have happened before. Think of COVID, the world wars, plagues, any number of big things that societies have gone through, and they come out the other end. And it's these times of innovation, these times of change, these times when people look at the world differently, when people want different things, when they are no longer sitting accepting what hasn't worked, and instead people are redefining and building these new futures. And when you can see that, it can help you to understand what is happening. This is a time to align, to get yourself focused, to know what you want to work towards. If we're building these new structures, these new ways, what do you want those to look like? What does that look like for you? What is your energy ready for? There's a lot of power in knowing that. And the more you can know your own energy, know your own needs outside of the collective, the more you can advocate for yourself, the more you can move yourself forward in the ways that are right for you. They talked about at the beginning, this is big times. These are bigger than big times, These are times that are redefining the future, that are redefining where we are going as a collective, as an individual. They are going to change everything. And that can sound overwhelming, but just know you came here for this. You are ready for this. This is not just the work of this lifetime. This goes beyond. And you are ready for this. You can do it. Just choose your mindset. Choose where you're coming from. If you're coming from a place of hope, from a place where you can see the potential, you can see the opportunities to be able to advocate. So I'm going to go through the cards that they gave me. A couple of these were unexpected. So the Stardust Seed Oracle deck. There's no name of who made this. Yeah, there's no name on the box, so I can't tell you whose deck this is, but I can give you the name, the Stardust Seed Oracle deck. And the cards they gave from this deck has cards that have images in just single words, but it also has cards like this that have they call it advice from your higher self. And that's what was given here. So the first card, Warrior of Light. So it says your higher self is presenting you with the Warrior of Light card, is sending a profound message of acceptance. It is an urging to embrace the entirety of your being, both the radiant days and the stormy nights. This duality isn't your weakness, but your strength. It's what makes your journey rich, textured, and authentically yours. Every scar, every tear, every triumphant shout is a testament to your journey as a warrior. The dance of light and the shadow within is not a battle, but a harmonious ballet, a choreographing of your unique path in this vast universe, in this vast tapestry of life. Our paths are fraught with challenges, with crossroads where we're compelled to choose between light and shadow. Often we celebrate our luminous moments, those times when we shine bright, championing our goals, standing resilient against adversities. However, lurking in the backdrop are those moments of darkness, when doubt clouds our judgment, when fear grips our heart, when the weight of the world seems too burdensome to bear. So this card, it speaks a lot. We talk about integrating light and dark. But I'm going to call out that it says warrior because warrior comes up on one of the other cards they've given too, a warrior of light, which speaks to the coming in this time to do this work, to be here, to be a light worker in times of change, to come here, to heal yourself, to rewrite what has gone before. Because if you're listening to me now, the chances are you've had a lot of past lifetimes. And there's a lot of times when we have gone through such things and it has ended differently, when we have perceived ourselves to have failed, when we have felt that we have not done enough. And, that's our perception of it. Often, it comes back to something being a journey, to being a path, and what we've done before has led us here. Who we are now, what we're doing now, the things we're going through now. It's part of the path, and that path doesn't need to only be from this lifetime. You're working at rewriting things for your soul, not only for who you are now. So the next card is Evolve Your Brain. Sorry, the light is reflecting a little bit. When the Evolve Your Brain card graces the spread, it's a profound nudge from your higher self. It's reminding you of the untapped reservoirs of potential within your neural pathways. Your journey isn't predestined, etched in stone. With each thought, with each intention, you are sculpting your path. You are defining your destiny. Your soul encourages you to dive deep into the realms of consciousness, to harness the transformative power of your mind, and to remember that within your cerebral folds lies a blueprint of your reality. Engage with it and evolve it, and watch the world around you transform. Our brain, a marvel of nature, is not just an organ of thought, but a tool of creation. Every thought, every emotion sends ripples into the universe, influencing our experiences and our realities. By harnessing the power of focused intention, by immersing in meditative practices, we can quite literally evolve our brain, aligning it with the frequencies of our desires. These seem like very specific messages that may be very direct to some people. To others, it's kind of validation of what we've been going through, this time of innovation, of change, of integrating, of knowing yourself, of giving yourself time out, giving yourself space. So then the other cards they gave us, this is the Earth Alchemy Oracle. Ananda Light and Lemon Balm is this card. Integrating energies, awakening, transitioning. So this supports, again, the information that was given. There's references to the earth. When we talk about integrating energies, the energies that are coming in, that are around us now, are a higher frequency than they have ever been. And our energy, our bodies are adapting to that. We are changing, we are transitioning, I suppose, to be able to be comfortable in those energies, to know what to do with them. We're taking them in and they are activating us. They are growing us talked about awakening. We just talked about the second, third, fourth, however many awakenings you go through in a lifetime. It's moving us forward. It's transitional, moving us forward, moving us to the next stage, to the next version of ourselves. Next one, a puffolite and a lemmy. Cleanse, clearing, purging, moving things out. In my Working with Crystals video, I talked about a puffolite. It's such an amazing crystal for working with anxieties, with stresses, to help you see these bigger perspectives. This thing, lifestyle choices, detox, nourishment. This speaks to other things that have come up already, the choices that you are making, the detox, the cleansing thing through your system. But there's also a reference here to lifestyle choices and nourishment. How are you feeding yourself? What are the things you're putting into your body? What are the things you are putting onto your body? What is in your environment? Just being aware of these things. How can you free yourself from what doesn't serve you, what doesn't help? So jade and pink lotus. This has multiple meanings for me. Sink into silence, reflection, and tranquility. So again, these times of silence, going within and knowing yourself. But the pink lotus, there's a pink lotus dragon energy that Jennifer and I work with, and it's always related to heart healing, to easing, to compassion, to gentleness. The new Empath Support session that I'm doing works with the pink lotus dragon to help you to clear the energies that are not yours, to give you freedom from other people's energies. The pink lotus, it's a cosmic dragon version of the energy of Kuan Yin. And no, it's a supportive energy, a loving energy, a compassionate energy, an energy of acceptance, one that will help you to find soothing and calmness in these volatile times. So in the last card, see another mention of a warrior. You have here, this is blue kyanite and honeysuckle. Sword of truth, freedom, warrior of light, stop holding yourself back. So we had this card as warrior of light, and this one mentions warrior of light also. The blue in this, really, I know it's blue kyanite. It ties me back to the energy of Archangel Michael, who is also an energy of protection, an energy who will support you in these times, one who can help you to clear your energy. To be a warrior doesn't mean you are going out with a physical sword fighting battles in the streets. What are you doing with your energy? How are you supporting the energies of this transition? What energies are you bringing forward? Again, this talks to your mindset, the actions that you want to take. And there's things in here, like with our Lightworker Tribe, the Patreon group, which it's linked below. We're doing a lot of energy work, a lot of work for the earth and for places beyond. We're working with other energies to heal origin wounds, to, again, reshape our future, to change things that we maybe didn't even know needed to be changed. I guess that link will be below. For people that are feeling like they really want to make some changes right now, they're looking for opportunities. I'm going to talk about a few of our sessions. We're starting now to plan for the next round of Portal Day Amplifier sessions. I'm going to do a more in-depth video about this because it's been fascinating. I talked about the Portal Day Amplifier session when it first started, and I'll link that below as well. But this session was one that's built on trust, on being given information and just trusting it, coming to it with an understanding it's important, but not knowing what to expect. Each of our Portal Day Amplifier sessions, you sign up to receive energies on the Portal Day for 3 Portal Days. So we just did 9, 9, 10, 10, and then we're going to do 11, 11. The next grouping is 12, 12, 1, 11, and 2, 22. So this session, it's actually a really good deal because you pay once, but you get energy work on 3 Portal Days. What comes with that too is channeled messages, information on the work that was done for your energy. And I said, in the beginning, I didn't know what to expect from this, and it has exceeded my expectations. The energies are not always easy, but they will push you. You know, a portal day is a gateway. It's an amplifying energy. It's something that carries very specific energies. It supports something really specific. And through this session, it is amplifying those energies. It is giving you access to them for longer. There's also music and a crystal grid that is connected to those 3 portal days that you can use in meditation. You can use just to play in the background. You can use it however you feel guided. But from my own personal experience, it has blown some things wide open. The things that I'm working on now that are different than I was aware of before. Things in my personal life that have changed. The way that I work, things that I can see and experience have changed. I have spoken with other people that have been doing this session, and they've talked about the changes that have come in their life. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's energetic, sometimes it's a mix of them all. But it's been a really powerful session. So if you feel like you came here to really do this work, to really clear all that you can to push yourself forward, I think in her last video, Jennifer referred to it as energy boot camp. And that's a bit what it feels like. Sometimes it's a little bit of tough love, but they will push you to whatever it is that you needed. And it's been a very different experience for each of us that did it. So right now we're starting to take bookings for the 12-12 grouping. I'll put the link to the page because it's got a little bit of information about the energy work that has already been done, so you can see, because this session will only be available over this 12-month period from 9/9 of this year till 8/8 next year, because these are the amplified energies. These are the energies that those of us who came to do this are working in, and this is an opportunity to utilize them in a different way. So yeah, I've got the information of the upcoming ones, the opportunity to reserve your spot for those, but also information on what's already been done, so you can get some understanding of what we're doing. I don't remember what we did for 9/9, but I know for 10/10 there was a divine implant put in the higher heart. There was energies around the crown and the third eye. We had energies that were working on the root chakra, the sacral chakra. It was really powerful stuff and completely unexpected. So I guess that's why I'm saying it comes down to trust in this, and just, you'll know in your energy if this is right for you. Just trust yourself and, you know, move forward from there. Other opportunities that we have, obviously I'll just put the link to the sessions that we do and you can look at those. There's a lot of energy healing and clearing sessions. But the way the energies are right now, there's a lot around empowerment, about opening doors. And so Jennifer and I both have been working on classes, on training to empower people, to give you the opportunity to push yourself forward, to do some of this work for yourselves. I did a class, a foundation class for healing. It's a healer activation and training level 1. There's going to be more that come. But this is it. There's an activation. There's work done to clear trauma from past lives as a healer. Foundational information on self-healing, working with others in your life, with your animals, with your family. Trying to bring through the information that I wish I had been given when I first started on healing, the things I didn't know I would have questions about. And then Jennifer, she is doing classes on shamanic work. Her level 1 is available now. It's working with closing portals. There's an attunement for that too, which I'm always all in for an attunement. You know, I don't care if I was already closing portals. I want to know how Jennifer did it, and I want to attune myself to whatever is available. So she has that, and she has the second level of that will be coming out soon, which is about clearing the land. So yeah. I'm bringing these forward because we're talking about these opportunities and the energies of the number 11 month and all of the things that are here, the potential and the focus on how you want to grow yourself and how you want to move forward. So take a breath, right? I feel like they gave me so much information. So take the pieces that feel relevant to you. If there's bits that are not showing up for you, then let it go. You know, we're all on this path. We're all going through it on our own way. And just take what is helpful to you, the pieces that feel relevant to you, and move forward with that. No, this is all about the choices we are making and the power in each of those choices. So just advocate for yourself, be kind to yourself, and trust your own energy, trust your own knowings, and let that guide you forward. Okay? Love to you all. I hope November is an awesome month for you, and that I was want to say and that it's gentle, but no, I don't know if those are these times. Like, a little kitty visit while we're here. Harley Barley is passing by, so I'll let her bring a little kitty cat energy to you. I'll put her back down there. Oh, and I brought my singing bowl because when energies are erratic, who doesn't need that? This is the Jupiter bowl, the biggest bowl I have. Who doesn't love the big bowls? So here we go. Love to you all.